Sid and Siobhan from Two Brothers. Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank
to
you.
Really pleased you're joining us. If you could just introduce yourselves and tell us about the film, what it's about. If you can give us a précis.
Well, my name's
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Connected, your role in it, in the whole production.
Yeah. My name's Siobhan Macher. I'm the director, editor, writer, and producer, and he's also my co-producer.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Sid.
I'm Sid. I'm his older brother.
And the better looking one, obviously.
Hopefully, I don't know. But yeah, my role in this, I basically, just oversaw, managed, pretty much.
Yeah.
And what is the film actually about? What is this production?
So the film actually has two different kind of plots you can see it as, since it's film and it's so, kind of subjective towards the story.
Yeah.
So the main story is that this little brother, Anthony, he wants to avenge his father's death, but his brother tries to protect him because it's all mafia related and whatnot. And then the other side of it is also the birth of Saint Michael, the angel,
Right.
Yeah, who slays demons and stuff. So it's a collision of those two stories put into one. So it's also a silent film. And I kind of created it with this aesthetic that I call the jazz aesthetic. It sounds a little pretentious, but it's just it's just the way, the modus operandi of how we finished the film and how it came all together. So the idea about this aesthetic is that it's just created the same way jazz music is created.
So I guess you love jazz music.
Actually, I was just learning about it, and I said to myself, you know what? I think jazz music is the perfect way to. That certain aesthetic is the perfect way to tell this story, because it's for starters, it's silent, so it's lots of editing and lots of music and lots of camera shots that all have to correlate with also the acting. So that's why, like in a jazz band, you have the trumpet player, the drummer, the head of the band. Like Miles Davis, he's leading everyone. He's
That
like
name keeps popping up.
right?
Like Miles Davis. Kind of Blue,
Davis.
brilliant album.
Yeah. It's awesome. Kind of Blue, Birth of the Cool, all of it. So it's too much to say of me as Miles Davis for this film. But so.
Do you play the trumpet then?
No.
Okay.
So the idea is the director is Miles Davis in this idea, in this certain aesthetic. He's the one that gets to cut people if they're not doing their job properly to this certain code of towards the film, which is, I guess, the director, my certain vision, how I wanted to do things. So how we tied this film together was it was done a lot in the editing room and the cutting.
Yeah.
It was done lots through improv, because that's how jazz bands play. They know their art, but they're playing it on the fly. So that's kind of how I wanted to do this, but with the improv side. I told my composer, give me some music, give me whatever you think. What do you feel with these shots? What do you feel? But I want it to be dark and I want it to be aggressive, And so he gave me music, and then I cut it with that, cut it accordingly, edit it, and I sent it back to him. He improved the music, sent it back to me. I improved the edit, so it kept going back and forth. And
for a while, I believe.
At least 6 months. So
6 months.
yeah, and the shooting was only 4 days.
And was this your first foray into filming, or have you done something before?
This started off as a student film.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a senior in USC School of Cinematic Arts, and I was just kind of taking this, and I wanted to do a longer film. I just wanted another film under my belt, actually. And so I thought about this. But before this, I had another short called Room 203. It's 5 minutes. But the interesting thing about that was a zombie film, all done in one take.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
One shot.
And you don't see zombies. So that's the funny thing.
Oh, what, is it all suggested?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the danger's inside the room. That's why it's all in one take. It's the crazy guy.
Right, okay. And where do you fit in? Sorry, where do you fit into all of this?
Me, I usually just oversee usually what he does. That's why I get executive producer all the time, manage the money accordingly and whatnot. So.
Spinning the plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
So,
financier.
I mean, obviously something like this definitely had to come out, show some support.
So what's interesting is I know you said it started out as a student project. Is that how it finished as well, or did it become more?
No.
Well, I don't know, because the thing is, what makes a student film? Is it just because a student discounts my student ID? The festivals I submitted it to, that's why I submitted it to regular film festivals and student, because I don't know what the threshold is that breaks that.
Certainly not for us. We're very open about it.
Yeah.
But I guess the question is, I suppose what I should have asked you is, have you seen this become something else?
Yeah.
During the
Yes,
shooting process?
From the
Definitely.
first edit, we actually had sound, and
Sorry, you had sound.
Yeah,
we
had-
cut it. We cut it all because it wasn't up to my code. Remember, I said that if it wasn't up to my certain code of aesthetic, I will cut you. If you're, in the film, because it's like a jazz band. It's, like there's a famous concert with Miles Davis playing the trumpet, and he was with some other jazz player that's a little more modern, and they were playing back and forth.
Probably like, I don't know, Herbie Hancock or whoever.
Yeah, I think it was Herbie
Hancock.
Hancock actually.
Yeah.
And they were just they were doing it live, and then Herbie Hancock did something outrageous, and Miles just said, "Cut him," and he was out.
Well, because he just didn't suit what his aesthetic
Yes.
was. Although I always got the feeling Miles Davis, he was a bit on the edge and willing to try new things.
Yeah.
Although, or perhaps it's just the way he played. I mean, he was a fantastic.
But he was a true artist, and
Yeah.
that's what the whole idea for this film was. It was to make an artwork. It was
Exactly.
an art piece,
Yeah, I mean,
That's why you see two different sides to the story. There's that mafia movie side, and then there's also that spiritual side about what makes the birth of Saint Michael. What made him become an archangel that kills demons.
Slayer.
The slave.
I mean, so you must have a different take as brothers. I mean, I know you're both on this, but I mean, the way you're looking at making this film, is it radically different? I mean, do you agree on it? You can't agree on everything. It's impossible.
Well, no, this take I do agree. The first take that we did was originally, I believe, about 40 minutes long.
25.
25? Way longer, and I wasn't feeling it at 100%. I told
Well, you wasn't
him-
feeling it.
Not
with
at
the
all.
film, no.
This was when we had all the audio going too. We didn't cut anything out. This was before he took the turn to going full noir on this.
Because this is a real big
Yeah.
decision to take the audio out.
Yeah.
I mean, a huge decision.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't happy with the final cut.
Yeah.
It's just not what I perceived to be in my head, and I was like, I have to fix this. I'm just stubborn that way,
Yeah.
Look, to be honest, it's your film. It's got to be how you want it to be, isn't
exactly.
it? You can't, you've got to be honest with yourself and true, haven't you?
I mean, at that point, what we saw together was we had great shots. The locations that we filmed at, we were so fortunate enough to get.
How did you get those? Did it help with the student side?
Yeah, very much.
because they were all pretty close too. So the 4-day schedule kind of.
Yeah, and like just a couple friends that work in like the police departments and stuff in those local towns that we filmed at, they helped us a lot. And it was just like after watching, that first 25-minute cut, we were just like, this is too good just to just throw away. Me and him, he came up to me on the edge of it, saying we should just probably give up or go for the next project. I told him, let's see what we could do. We have amazing shots. We have something cool. Let's see where we go with this. And then from there, I think that's when he found out, this is very visionary. This is very
during
huge.
This time, I was learning a lot about jazz music and the birth of the cool.
So, do you wish in hindsight that as you're learning more about jazz now, because I'm guessing the film you make now, because you know more now, would be completely different to the film you made then?
Yeah, definitely.
Or is that right?
Yeah. I think my overall vision as a director is what kind of stories I want to tell. I have a proper a theory that I'm trying to prove now, and a proper aesthetic I'm trying to go for that certainly deals with the darker side of things in reality that are maybe in the deepest crevices out in the world that are how can I say this, that we don't see every day but they exist,
Yeah. And are you from quite an artistic family? Because it's interesting you're both working or trying to work in film. So
Yeah.
I wonder what your
Yeah.
parents, is it where that comes from? Because
Actually, my dad's a businessman.
Is it?
Yeah, he has a warehousing and distribution thing, but he has a lot with fashion and stuff. So I
Right.
think that's where my artistic side
I guess
came
we
in.
get
And
started there.
movies, he always kind of grew up with movies. Growing up, we always saw Indiana Jones, Star Wars, the George Lucas films, Steve
Yeah.
Spielberg, classic 70s
Sound
American
of Music.
Hollywood. Sound of Music, another
a great
good one.
one, yeah.
So the parents. So what your father has in tea? It's a radical change.
Yeah,
he said that
definitely.
actually, what I want to do is go to film school and study film. They were like, yeah, hey, great idea.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
go, whoa,
don't,
okay.
we're
He's
yeah.
actually, I was really fortunate to have a father like my
Exactly.
dad because he backs everything up. Like even the school funding, it's all him. That's why kind of like I have to make this successful because it's my head.
It's got to work. Yeah,
you know?
I mean, at the point where we're coming from culturally wise, we grew up in India, came to America, and you know.
How long ago? I mean, you've obviously got very Americanized accent, some time.
Yeah, but no, I was 5, he was 4. We're only a year apart, and we grew up with like the Indian mentality, where it's like focus on schoolwork, get straight A's,
work hard,
either become a doctor or like.
Then we got Americanized.
I mean, then I guess like music started opening up to us. We made like a band, and you know we started opening up artistically, and we saw our visions, I guess, like open up through there, and we had, like I said, our parents. We were fortunate enough to have them to help us like follow us where we wanted to go with this. Getting this far with this has been great.
It's amazing how many filmmakers I speak to that, well, two things. One is they have a complete change of career. They could be an architects or civil engineers or whatever. Or a lot of them actually have musical backgrounds. It's not unsurprising because it's creative, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they might get involved in a small way, but a lot of them, once they go into it, they can't get out of it. They don't want this is an addiction, you know?
Oh, definitely.
See, I think the most beautiful thing about music and cinema and painting and just art in general, it's all a language, you know? You don't need words to describe it. Okay, fine, literary.
No, but it's a feel, isn't it?
It's the feel, exactly. It's a language, and I think that without the actual, you know, like talking and stuff, we can kind of see each other's ideas more openly and more freely and more subjectively through art. And objectively, depending on the topic.
Yeah, again, absolutely. I mean, and art is very subjective because, as an example, I'm not a huge fan of Picasso, and yet other people, Guernica or something like that. But generally speaking, it doesn't really strike me.
You know what?
But other people go, that's amazing, and they can't understand why I don't. But that's because you have different tastes.
I never actually really liked Picasso too, but only because people actually. I heard a story that he started producing straight shit because he knew he was rich and his name was a certain.
You just signed something.
Yeah. Exactly, and it was worth $1 million. So I think he had a certain amount of power at that point. But
the trouble is, you sort of think, but the trouble is, you've sold out then,
haven't you? Yeah.
But
selling out.
That's what I think the cool part about art is if a fraction, or let's say 70% of people see something as amazing, then there has to be something that makes it so amazing. You know, like Star Wars or any other good film out there. I don't personally like Star Wars, but I like all the.
You mean you don't like The Force Awakens?
I mean, I like.
I was a fan of it. I liked it.
I like all the violence, really.
So you're more of a Scorsese, Tarantino guy, yeah?
Yeah,
100%.
But I do like all the inspirations that Star Wars drew from, like the samurai.
Oh yeah, samurai,
Akira Kurosawa.
Because I mean, he has, isn't it? You know, he's taken all those elements and mashed them.
That's why, like, you know.
Well, there's a famous film, The Man of 1,000 Faces, I think it's called, and basically, that you can take Luke Skywalker and he could be the John Wayne character or Indiana Jones, because really it's the same character.
Exactly.
Dressed up in a fedora.
Pretty much.
You know, in his robes to Star
Wars. It's a character stereotype, character archetype. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it's great. So what's next? I know you're obviously promoting this. What's next for you?
Right now I'm writing 2 features. I kind of want to move on to features now. I'm expanding this into a feature. It's going to be darker and more intense. I think now it's going to be. It's definitely not going to be silent. I'm probably going to.
Yeah.
Maybe parts of it is going to be just silent movie telling, but no intertitles.
And you're intricately linked now. I mean, you are a collective. You're all working together. That's the idea behind it, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I can only imagine the kind of collaboration process you have.
So,
which is great. I mean, because you can bounce ideas off each other. But does that all go sort of quite swimmingly, or
never?
Never. I tell him my thoughts, and then he kind of.
Well,
cuts it up.
Are you telling your thoughts?
It's a lot of shitting on each other, really. Excuse my language. But it's what it is. It's what it is. But I think that's what makes the best work, because you got to vent out, get your feelings out there, and then come up with a conclusion.
Exactly. No, you put everything out on the table by then. I mean, I always told him, in general, the best way to get your message across as an artist is to actually communicate. Even though your vision could be crazy and awesome, but it only makes sense to you, other people won't see it. So you got to kind of like dumb it down. That's what I told him to kind of do with this. And finding that angle was, I think, the tough part, and that's what we got with the jazz aesthetic, as he calls it.
But the best way I can summarize the jazz aesthetic towards this film is, you know, how a jazz band just lets the music do the talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the film do the talking.
Exactly.
Brilliant way to end it with you guys. Thank
Definitely.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Glad it was
you.
a pleasure. So